A sword has to cut in order to kill, but an axe only needs one hit. Some designs were so brutal that shields became useless. In the next few minutes, we'll break down the engineering behind the most terrifying battle axes in history. From Viking hook axes that ripped defenses apart, to night killers designed to crack steel plate armor. We begin in the Viking Age, with a design that doesn't just cut, it takes control of the fight. 1. Skeggøx. We're in the Viking Age, and in front of us is the Skeggøx, the bearded axe. That cutout section at the bottom wasn't made just to look cool. This was pure weight engineering. Vikings removed unnecessary metal mass to make the axe lighter, without losing cutting surface. The result? A weapon that swung faster, tired you less, and gave you an advantage in long fights. But the real genius of the beard revealed itself in close combat. That protrusion worked like a hook, catching an enemy's shield or weapon. The moment you hooked the edge of a shield and pulled, the defense would instantly collapse. The Skeggøx didn't just cut, it ripped the enemy's defense away. 2. Francisca. The Franks didn't aim to break the enemy physically first. They aimed to break them mentally, and for that they used the Francisca, one of the most feared throwing axes in history. Its axe head curved forward, and the center of mass was intentionally shifted toward the front. This made it spin smoothly through the air, almost like it was locked onto its target. But what made the Francisca terrifying was the fact that it didn't stop even after hitting the ground. Its shape allowed it to bounce, ricochet, and strike from completely random angles, sometimes embedding itself into a soldier's leg. When thrown in volleys, the enemy line didn't feel pain first, it felt panic. And in war, panic usually means death. 3. Dane Axe. By the 11th century, axes were no longer just tools. They had become the heavy artillery of the battlefield. And the Dane axe was the peak of that evolution. Its handle could reach up to 1.5 meters. That length wasn't accidental. It was pure leverage physics. The longer the shaft, the higher the tip speed. And the higher the speed, the more the impact energy multiplies. Its blade was wide and thin-forged, but the real point wasn't sharpness, it was momentum. Sources describe this axe being able to smash through a shield and drop the man behind it in a single strike. Of course, it came with a price. It required 2 hands, which meant no shield. The Dane axe was a weapon that rejected defense. 4. Tabarzin. Now we move east. The Tabarzin, found in Persian and Indian warfare, was designed with a completely different logic compared to European axes. Its short handle might make it look weak, but this was a cavalry weapon. Its power didn't come from the warrior's arm. It came from the horse's speed. The engineering secret of the Tabarzin was mass density. Its thick, heavy crescent-shaped head concentrated energy into a narrow impact point. A sword strike spreads across armor, but when a Tabarzin hit a helmet, it collapsed like a hammer blow. It wasn't built to cut, it was built to crush. Even if the armor didn't break, the shockwave could still reach the bones underneath. 5. Bardiche. In Eastern Europe, axes evolved in a completely different direction. The Bardiche. Its blade was shaped like a massive crescent and could reach up to 60 centimeters. This wasn't a normal axe anymore. It was like a portable guillotine. The purpose of the design was to increase the cutting plane. As the blade became longer, the strike spread across a wider line instead of a single point. That made the Bardiche both powerful and capable of controlling space. But the most interesting part is this. Russian Streltsy units would plant the Bardiche into the ground and use it as a tripod to support their muskets. So the Bardiche wasn't just a melee weapon. It became one of the first support tools of the early firearm age. 6. Pollaxe. By the late Middle Ages, plate armor had become so advanced that swords often stopped being effective. Steel surfaces could deflect most strikes. The engineer's answer was the Pollaxe. This weapon was less of an axe and more of a tool designed specifically to open armor. It had a hammer or axe face on one side, a sharp spike on the other, and a spear point on top. Its real power came from pressure physics. A flat surface spreads force, but a spike locks the same energy into a single point. That's why the Pollaxe's spike was deadly. It compressed the impact into an area as small as a needle tip. The reason knights chose the Pollaxe in duels was simple. This weapon didn't care about armor. 7. Halberd. The halberd became legendary in the hands of Swiss mercenaries. But it wasn't designed for one-on-one duels, it was designed for formation warfare. It was about 2 meters long and offered 3 attack vectors: a spear tip for thrusting, an axe blade for cutting, and a rear hook for pulling. It was especially terrifying against cavalry. When a rider charged at you, the spear point could stop him. If he didn't stop, the axe blade had enough momentum to break the horse's neck or smash through the rider's armor. And that rear hook was made to drag a knight off his horse and slam him into the ground. The halberd's power wasn't versatility, it was its ability to instantly become the right answer to any battlefield scenario. 8. Lochaber Axe. We end our list with Scotland's most brutal design, the Lochaber Axe. A long pole, a massive axe head, and in many models an extra hook on the back. Its power came from momentum. Once that heavy head was swinging, stopping it was nearly impossible. Hiding behind a shield didn't help because the strike didn't just cut, it crushed. But what made the Lochaber truly terrifying was that hook. Scottish warriors could catch cavalry riders during a charge and rip them straight off the saddle. And once you hit the ground, armor doesn't protect you, it traps you. This weapon wasn't elegant, but war doesn't require elegance. These 8 axes prove one thing: the winner of war wasn't always the bravest. It was the one who managed energy most efficiently. Some designs optimized weight, some used leverage, others locked pressure into a single point and made armor meaningless. And the most terrifying truth about axes was this: they often didn't even need to cut. They only needed to hit. If you want to keep exploring the engineering behind history's deadliest weapons, subscribe.